And welcome to Let's Talk And welcome to Let's Talk Houston. And I am your host, Dr. J. Lynn. And welcome to Let's Talk.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower cleared.
To Let's Talk Houston, and I am your host, Dr. J. Lynn Hicks. Come on in, and in the studio with us today, we have none other than this amazing, phenomenal, astronomical, super fantabulous woman of God, Miss Priscilla T. Graham. Let's give it up for Miss Priscilla. Go ahead and greet your audience, Miss Priscilla.
Hello, Houston. So let's talk. I'm very excited to be here tonight, and thank you so much, Doctor, for the opportunity for me to come and just spread some love and some wealth and just have a conversation.
All righty then. I love it. As usual, tell Lottie Dottie and every doggone body that we are live and in living color. Go ahead, click like, click share, tell a friend, tag a friend, because I'm sure something is going to be said or done to inspire you along the way. And so on tonight, you remember I told you all last week I have all these slides. And I, for whatever reason, I hadn't been using my slides. So I said, oh no, I'm going to start. But now, it's like these slides are all the way at the bottom. Uh-oh. I just moved something around. So I can't make my slides go. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know, miss. Well, it's not letting me do my slides like I want to do them. That's amazing. Oh, wait a minute. I clicked that and all of these things have popped up. I have never. Well, we're going to shout out our biz feature on tonight. I'm not going to. I don't know what is going on. This has never, you know how stuff happens that has never happened. Now, a couple of weeks ago, for whatever reason, this just shut off.
Yes.
When I had the Minister of Music here. Mm-hmm. And I was like, how do I get it back on? And I kept fooling with it. And, the good Lord, I was praying like, God, what are we going to do right now?
I don't know.
And you know what? I got it to come back on. Another time, somebody got excited and they took their hand and they hit my table and hit this mouse with their hand. They were trying to make a point or something. And they hit this and clicked it off and it went black. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? And again, I got it back. Now, this time, I've been using, the last couple of times I've used the slides, but it's never been an issue. I've always been able to navigate and go up and down here. But, for whatever reason right now, it's not allowing me to do it. Isn't that amazing?
It is.
Okay, now you tell me, why is that?
I don't know. Maybe because you have the fantabulous Priscilla T. Graham here tonight. Maybe that's what it is. You know how that energy,
yes,
and you know how that energy just feels. Maybe it's just illuminating.
Let me see.
Nah, it's not a touch screen.
It's sure not. Okay, yeah. Well, cool. So we're gonna go to plan B. I can still talk about the same stuff even without the slides.
Yes.
But so our featured guest on tonight is the eloquent, you are a very intelligent woman. You are a gift to the community. Miss Priscilla T. Graham. I know you are an author, you are a photographer. I posted that picture with the camera. I thought that was
Yes, yes,
cool.
yes.
I don't know where you were, but I can tell it's historical. And I know you have a wealth of information because when I heard you speak at that topping of the ground ceremony, I said, wow, this woman is, you deep.
Yes.
And I like when big things come in small packages. Like you don't see it, the exterior, like you're not quite ready.
Yeah.
But then when you took that mic, and I'm like, okay, now you're gonna educate us. You're gonna have to let us know because obviously we don't know. I mean, so you are my featured guest, and you're also, I want you to tell us a little bit more about your business and your background as well.
Well, my name is Priscilla T. Graham. I'm from Thomasville, Georgia.
Okay.
I am a Gulf War combat veteran. I was in the military for 6 years, and I ended up in Texas because I was stationed at Fort Hood.
Right.
I worked for the YMCA for 18 and a half years. I opened the first YMCA in the world that's named after a professional sports team.
Right.
The Houston, Texas YMCA, which is on the corner of Griggs and MLK.
You opened that?
Yes, and help raise money for that and all that. So I'm always going to be historical within myself.
Well, you on that wall, I saw your picture.
Yes.
That was you?
Yeah.
I've been going there lately, but yes, that was you up there. Okay.
That's me.
That's you.
Ain't
1,
that-
2, 3, 4, 5. I see you. Wow. Let me shake your hand. All right.
So, but I've been doing a lot of things in historical Freemanstown, and that's kind of how I started doing a lot of historical research. Is that I wanted to explore the oldest cemeteries in Houston.
Okay.
It was 3 cemeteries. It was Olive, I think Olive Green, Olivewood, Evergreen, Olivewood, and then the College Park Memorial Cemetery.
Okay.
And in order to get history, and you really want to know about the history of the people, it's in the cemetery. You have to go to the cemetery.
Yeah.
And so that's why headstones are so important.
Yes.
That we have those, because those are historical documentation.
Okay.
When nothing else is there. And so I went to all 3. Harrisburg is another cemetery. That's one of the older ones too. So, and I named like 4.
Right.
But I went to 3, and then when I went to College Memorial Cemetery, and they always say it was haunted. And so I went inside there and I was taking pictures, and that's around about the time of Ike, where we lost a lot of trees.
Yeah.
And so looking inside, someone had gone inside and painted all these trees, these tree stumps, all these different colors. So it looked like, people always talk about voodoo and all that kind of stuff. So it looked absolutely weird.
Okay.
And I don't know what I took a picture of, but something got on me. And I start running. I never drove my car in there because I'm from Georgia. They talk about different things. I start running out the cemetery.
Yeah.
And then it just come to me that, you know what? If you want it, you can't be scared.
That's
you got to
right.
go in and
You got
get
to
it.
get it.
And the history, most times, of the African American community is going to be close to wherever the cemetery is and wherever the oldest church, the original place where the oldest church is.
Worship.
And that's where you can find where that black settlement is.
Oh, okay.
So, but we were talking about plantations. When we met, I was talking about a plantation.
Yes, you were.
And so I've had a learning experience and growth with learning about the plantation. Also, some things that I didn't know, because I never really explored plantations. I did freedom colonies, meaning that places where were settled after the Civil War, after Juneteenth, 1865. And those are the places that people moved to in order to be able to live. And so that's what I've been, and those places are places of freed people. Does not have a slave narrative.
Okay.
It has a free person narrative.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was in hunt for. But I got inspired by Freemanstown in order to explore those other places. But I also had the opportunity, as far as we talk about plantation, was Arcola Plantation, which is part of Fort Bend. And so that's kind of what we talked about. And that's kind of where we are today, to actually explore some things. And you're going to ask me some questions about that.
Yes. I was trying to figure out where our podcast is on here.
And the other thing she asked me about was my business. My business name is Heritage History Box LLC. Right. And you say, why is it Heritage History Box LLC? That's because my grandfather's grandmother, which is my great grandmother, her name was Harriet, and she was a slave in Thomas County. So I wanted to honor her, because when we speak our ancestors' name and continue to keep them alive, they continue to live through us.
Right.
And so I wanted to honor her, and that was the best way that I thought I could, by naming my company that. And every time it spoke, it elevates her to another level.
Right. Now, when you spoke at that topping of the ground ceremony, when you mentioned the Arcola plantations, you stated You say, well, everybody's talking about Sienna,
Mhm.
and so historical. Okay, so those are actual landmarks. Those are actual plantations, right?
So Sienna, there's no such thing as Sienna plantation.
There's no such thing.
Sienna was not a plantation.
It was not.
It's the land that was once Arcola plantation. The Scanlon daughters actually used to house nuns, would have retreats there,
Mhm.
and the area around their main house is what those nuns named Sienna.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what was named Sienna Plantation. So it didn't have anything to do with the mass part of the land, which
Okay.
was over 8,000 acres.
Mhm.
It had to do with just that little area.
Mhm.
However, when the developers purchased it in 1972, they decided that they wanted the whole lot of 8,000 acres to be
Be
named Sienna.
Okay.
And you have the right to do that because you paid $9.2 million
Okay.
for it, and
And then
you,
whatever.
you get to make that choice. And
Okay.
so that's what they did.
Mhm.
And that's how it became Sienna. And first, when you first would see the signage on it, it would say Sienna Plantation. But then there's a lot of Black people that lived in Sienna
In the
Plantation. And then they decided to take that plantation part of
It
it
just
off.
says Sienna.
Yes,
Yeah, I noticed that. But they waited a long time before
they
took-
did. They
Okay.
did.
You think somebody protested?
Probably told them it wasn't a good idea with all those Black people staying out
Yeah,
there.
that's what.
Yeah.
No, I've been thinking that before
Yeah.
they did it. I was wondering about
Yeah,
that.
but it actually was a plantation. So the part that's up in Missouri City that's closest, I don't know if you're familiar with the Sienna part where it goes into Sienna. You see the signage
Mhm.
when you're going there.
Yeah.
But there's an area once you go down into the community
Yes.
and go back there where Waters Plantation was.
Okay.
And I know you've seen the stuff that they discovered in 2019 about the sugar house.
Mm-hmm.
The sugar house, the perjury, all those structures that they actually found back there.
Right.
And so those things are still there.
Okay.
That was something I just kind of wanted to know if it was still, those things are still there. They haven't torn them down. What they have done is built around it. And right now they're on the last part of developing the last land in Arcola Plantation, which
Okay.
goes back towards 521, FM 521.
Oh, okay. My work. So books.
Mhm.
You say you've authored 35 books.
Over 35.
Over 30. Well, let me give it up. Oh Lord. I don't take it lightly because just for example, to graduate from University of Houston, get a doctorate, just to do a dissertation, it's laborious, it's stressful,
Yes.
it's hard, it's like an uphill. It's like it doesn't just flow out freely. You know what I mean? This takes time.
Yes.
This takes effort.
Yes.
This takes research.
Yes.
This takes some long nights.
Yes. Thousands of hours.
And organizing all this information and for you to tell me that you have over 35.
Well, you have to understand that my plan is not with man, it's with God.
Okay, amen.
And so however the Spirit leads me,
Mhm.
that's where I go.
Amen.
I don't try to, once was a time that I tried to dictate my
Mhm.
path.
Right.
But then I surrendered and said, Lord, however, wherever
Mhm.
you guide and lead me, I'm going.
Amen.
So I don't do anything unless it's spiritual. Like even with the books, move. I don't move and I don't write anything new or do anything if it's not in my spirit to do it.
Wow. Thomasville, my hometown.
So I'm from Thomasville, Georgia, and that's my hometown. Yes, ma'am.
Well, talk about your hometown.
Well, I'm from Thomasville, Georgia. Thomasville, Georgia was a little small town
Mm-hmm.
on the border of Tallahassee, Florida, which is they border each other, and so that's kind of where I grew up. We always talk about the Georgia-Florida line. That's how we put that in perspective. But what I didn't know is that Thomasville, Georgia, has some of the most Confederate things that are still there or that existed in our lifetime, and it's still there. And I didn't know that because, when you're growing up, your family keep you protected, and they don't want you to know certain things. Yeah, they experience it, but they don't want their kids to experience it. And I didn't know at the time why.
Yes.
I just thought they just didn't want me to have fun, because you want to go to the dances with everybody. You want to do what everybody's doing.
Right.
My grandfather told me, if you hadn't done it before 10 o'clock, it ain't worth doing.
That's right.
You got to be in the house. But everything was going on after 10 o'clock. Yes. And so, and that's the other thing that drives me also about African-American history is because I just felt like I wasn't connected and I wanted to be. That's why I ended up going to Texas Southern University because I wanted to be connected to the culture.
Yes.
And then,
did it meet your expectation?
Nah.
You highly intellectual.
Nah.
So I don't know.
So because all before I went to were white
Mhm.
colleges, and I
Right.
just had that urge that I needed that experience. But
Okay.
I'm not saying I would do it different.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I would do anything different. It's just that it did not meet my expectations, but it wasn't supposed to meet my expectation. It was supposed to be
Okay.
an experience for me to get me to where
Mhm.
I am now, and doing the books and doing that, and still have that passion, that love. And the other thing I learned is that people that have nothing to lose,
Mhm.
they'll cause you to lose everything.
Right. I
And
agree.
so, even though you know that it's not true, but they'll
Mhm.
put it out there like it is. And
Mhm.
my thing is still saying, where's yours?
Mhm. Where's yours?
You want to criticize, where's yours?
So you graduated from Texas Southern?
Yeah, I have a BBA in accounting, and I have a master's in business administration.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I was thinking about the doctorate, but I was like, nah, I don't want to do anymore. I don't want to go to school anymore. So I'm
That's
good.
understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the time, the energy, the effort, the long nights, the evenings, and sitting up in universities and studying in libraries,
Yeah.
it gets old after a while. So, yeah, I can understand not wanting to go back to school. But when I was going to school, I enjoyed going to school.
Yes. Yes.
It's therapeutic for me. I love to learn. I believe in being a lifelong learner. And, while you're young and while you're adept and you're sharp, although I believe we can still be sharp as we age. Because if you keep exercising, your blood is flowing. Yeah, and keep your brain, as your grandparents say, don't let it get idle. Don't let your brain get idle.
Yes. Yes.
Because then when it gets idle, that's when the Alzheimer and it's like your conversations, they begin to go in circles. You know how it is when you get it right. It's like they keep talking about the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And so I feel like at any age we can continue to grow, but you don't have to go to a formal institution.
Right.
Yeah, you could grow. I can grow by reading these books
Mhm.
because you have a lot of knowledge to share. And so you met Dr. Coleman through.
I met Dr. Coleman because we were both volunteers in 2014 with Freemanstown Preservation Coalition in order to help save the brick streets in historic Freemanstown.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how I met her. So I've been knowing her for many, many years.
Right. So are you familiar with when because I went to a couple of these exhibitions and these art performances when Farrell Phelps did the Freemantown?
Yes, I know Farrell.
Okay, because I went to that.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been to his studio a couple, but I'm saying I just remember going to that, and he had those slaves. The guys were dressed like actual slaves on the auction.
But that community has no slave narrative.
Oh, right. That was just something.
That's just his interpretation of his expression of that community. But that community has no slave narrative.
It has no slave narrative.
Only a freed community.
Oh, so everybody over there was free.
Everybody. No slaves.
Well, that's good.
No slaves.
He just had the slaves.
He's amazing. Like, he's an amazing artist.
Yes.
And he does things where, with the visual, where it's human and live too. So I'm talking about, he's phenomenal. And when he did his exhibit of Freemanstown, and he had the food and all those different things that was connected to the culture, it was absolutely amazing. I was there. I went to a couple of them.
Yeah,
the very first one and the second one. It was absolutely amazing.
3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, and he changed it up. He did the skin I am.
The skin I'm in.
Yeah, and so that was the last one I went to.
I've been to 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then this last one,
I haven't.
It was Rev Up the Runway. It was on, I think it was off 249.
He's amazing.
Yeah, so, but it's always going to be, he was talking about the vitiligo and stuff. Yeah. Well, he only had like one guest there this particular time.
Yes.
It wasn't a strong emphasis as in the past.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I like to observe. I'm artistic, I think. Like, I like to see plays, performances, exhibitions. Yeah. But see, you have the historical knowledge, so you take it much more seriously. Because everybody sitting in the room is not going to know, like you do, that there's no slave narrative. Why are those slaves there? I mean, but you're saying, I'm thinking he said we were slaves, but we are now free. Because he also had people
from different generations, from different time 60s, periods.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that community has no slave narrative, meaning that that's not a part of that story.
Right.
And so, but that's his interpretation of how he wants to present it. And he's an artist, and that's what artists do. I've had 5 solo exhibits on my own as far as presenting things. And so it's just your interpretation but I'm a realism. I do real things. I don't do, I'm not one of those people. I don't kind of invent
It's not correct.
what it is. It's just like whatever. It's like historical.
It's actual and
real.
factual.
Yes,
I
actual
got
factual
you.
type
You
stuff.
don't add to it. You don't take
No,
away from
no,
it.
no.
Well, historians are like that. They don't want to add to it, take
Mhm.
away. They want you to see
Exactly what it is.
So what is that? A black? We were called cowboys, and the other one was called cattlemen.
So,
'cause I see
am I
this-
able to speak freely about?
I believe so. Nobody's ever asked me that before.
Because okay,
No, I just noticed.
I would encourage everyone to go to the Black Cowboy Museum
Okay.
in Rosenberg to witness Mr. Larry Callis
Mhm.
tell the story of the Black Cowboy.
Okay.
So he tells the story, but he starts off, he tells you that they were called cow niggas.
Mm.
And then they started calling them cowboys.
Okay.
But white people wasn't called cowboys or called
Back
cow
then.
niggas. They was called cow hands or ranchers.
Yeah, right.
And
Cattlemen? No.
cattlemen, yes, and
Yeah.
all those different names. So cowboy became so marketable
Okay.
in mainstream, they start putting the white man as the cowboy.
Okay.
But the cowboy was a black man.
Yeah, that's what everybody's been saying.
And that's who the cowboy was a black man. Because remember, they used to call black men boy.
I remember that.
Why would you know they didn't call a white man boy?
No, they did not.
So that's the thing. But he has the absolute most amazing story, and he has a badge of the slave patrol from South Carolina, like the real badge.
Real slave.
Because policing started because of slavery, because it was property. They was running
Policing
away.
us.
Yes, policing us, and they've continued. It's systematic. It's a method to it.
That's what I heard on. It was something I was watching. They explained about that police.
They
said they're here to police us. They're not here to protect you. They're here to police you.
That's right. So,
I mean, they went down in detail. It was just too much.
So
the description.
Here's the thing, though.
Mhm.
When I first started doing a lot of research in Fifth, I've been to a lot of the different places. So
Right.
Fifth Ward was one of my places that I did research, and I used to go over there. I wake up in the morning, I go to work 8 o'clock. I come back around about 2:33 because of the drive.
Okay.
And where I live, so it usually took me an hour to get there, hour to get back home.
Mhm.
But in Fifth Ward, when I first started there, in the part where they hadn't rehabbed or done anything, like just where people live, just people. They was in their community. They did what they did, whatever. But the police would always be parked somewhere where they could see them. And that's the only thing I thought about is about that they've always done in our communities.
Yeah.
And that's so unfair.
It is.
But I think you have to go back to convict leasing. And let's talk about some real
convict
leasing. So after slavery, when the people became free, they had no help for workers.
Okay.
Remember, they got their wealth off property, black free labor.
Yes.
When it was gone, there was no one. They would have to pay for it. So they almost lost everything.
Okay.
And so in order to rebuild and get their wealth back, they came up with this system called convict leasing. So if you're a freed person, you have no job. You're vagrant. You're just loitering, whatever. Guess what they do? Trump up charges on you and throw you out there to go to work to those labor camps. So those sugar cane, like Arcola sugar plantation, what they did was they had some too. We're not gonna leave them out.
We're not gonna leave
But
them
Sugar Land is the one that had the most, because actually Sugar Land would get over 400 of them, and then they would rent them out to other plantations. And so Arcola plantation had over 50 beds, I think maybe 75 beds for convicts, and they had 50 beds for Negroes, meaning that the black people that have moved outside the gate, where they can come in there and work too, and they need to stay, you stay.
Is that like a sharecropper? But not really.
It's worse than a sharecropper.
It's worse. Okay.
Yeah. So, but the convict leasing in the 13th Amendment gave us our rights and turned right back around and took it away and said, if you're a criminal or a convict, guess what I can do? You have no rights. And so they threw them in jail. And think about this. When we were enslaved, it was the whole family. It was the wife, the children, and the man.
Okay.
When they started convict leasing, the man was taken out of the home.
Like the pattern of today.
Yes. And so it was the woman that had to fend for her family with her children, and the man was locked up doing free labor for these people. And so the state of Texas profited, all southern states that was involved with it, profited immensely off convict leasing. And I know you've heard of Sugar Land 95.
No, I have not.
Sugar Land 95 is where they found 95 bodies. They have a new school out. It's not a school. It's like regional center or something like that for Fort Bend, which is pretty new.
Mhm.
They found 95 bodies of
Mm.
people that were convict leasing. I think the youngest one was 11. And
11?
they unearthed their bodies and found their bodies, and that means they had been, because they could lock up kids too.
didn't know they
Adults
locked up
adults wasn't the only ones that they could lock up kids, and so
Where were their bodies just dead under there?
I guess they had buried them. They died. They buried them, and
Mhm.
so when they unearthed them, they saw how they died, whether they were shot, whether they was beat, whatever was wrong with them. 95. However, if you go to the site of where that cemetery is, it's just little headstones with numbers on it. It has no names.
No names.
It's not 95.
How many is?
103.
So it's more than 95.
Mm-hmm. It was more than 95. But you got to put it in context. And then you talk about Arcola Plantation, the convict leasing camp on Arcola Plantation was called Burnside.
Mm-hmm.
Burnside. That's what the place where they housed them at, Burnside. However, there's a cemetery right outside of there that say it's Burnside.
It does?
Mm-hmm. Burnside. And then Fort Bend County actually kept it where it's a Fort Bend County cemetery right now. But you don't see any graves or anything because they done put park, they done put roads and people houses on top of those graves. They didn't move them. They living on them. And so nobody's really going to talk about that. But that's what's the name of the convict.
I don't want to live on those.
You don't, but you know what? That's why it's important to know the history of the land.
So Burnside, did you say that's in Sugar Land?
It's not in Sugar Land. It's in Missouri City.
Oh, okay. That's not very far. I mean,
it's in Siena.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I like to distance myself, like when I'm thinking of cruel and unusual, just torture.
Yeah.
I'm envisioning torture.
You're right.
Because back when I was working on my doctorate, it was in historical, social, and cultural foundations. So back then they were talking about culturalism, different cultures, things that you were going to start to see. This is before it was happening. Mm-hmm. So they were telling me back then, this is back in what, 95?
Wow.
Yeah, they were saying, it's going to come a time you're going to, because they were talking about all the sex in society and the cultures. It's going to come a time that you're not going to see a traditional family come and have a conference with you at your school. Right. It's going to be 2 women going to come, 2 men. Now, this is before, this was not even common.
Right.
Nobody was thinking about this. Mm-hmm. But they already knew. I'm just amazed. They knew back then what the future was going to do. Mm-hmm. And they were telling me, as a young woman, what you're going to see. Of course. And so then they also discussed, we talked about like the dynamics of, I want to say, the Black family. Because they were talking about how, after slavery, the Civil War, whatever happened, the African-American male or the Black male, they would not hire him. But
I was afraid of him. You know why? I'd be afraid of him too, because think about this.
He's strong.
If I had a cup of white milk,
okay,
and I was sitting here and I took me a little drop of Hershey's chocolate and dropped it in it, what you got?
Chocolate milk.
You got some chocolate milk. So let me tell you, my grandfather used to always tell me that the only 2 things that's free is a Black woman and a white man.
My grandfather used to tell me that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what he used to tell me. He say that's the only thing that's free is a Black woman and a white man.
Yeah.
Because both of them was allowed to work. Oh. And they could procreate. Allowed to procreate. They ain't allow Black men to procreate with a white woman. The white woman had to do what a man said do. But they allowed a Black woman to get out there and work and take care of her family.
That's what I was going to say. They said back then when I was studying also about how they didn't hire the man. To me, it was to break up the family dynamic. But I'm saying, but they hired her. Mm-hmm. And she could go work for Miss Ann, whoever. She could do days work or whatever. Yes. The Black woman, I was looking at this, she's the glue. Yeah. That I respect the Black male and I appreciate him. But I mean, she had to get out there and work because they were being mean. They were ostracizing him or whatever, shunning him, shutting him out. I guess trying to break everything up to get him back, I guess, into the slavery.
They imprisoned them.
Yeah, I'm saying they didn't want him to work. They wanted him to just be crippled and broke down. But anyway, she went on out there and worked. She's smiling. And just like in the movies when I was seeing, when they would go in there and take her, she would be laying there with her husband and they come knock on the door. And no, I would watch those movies and they would get that way. But she'd get up like, and then she would come back in the movie and they would go, well, how did he treat you? She would go, oh, fine. Knowing she was trying to save this man's life because she don't want to upset him.
Yeah, most
You know,
dangerous thing in the universe is
Yeah.
a black woman.
So you just, yeah, she was just smiling because she was grinning, she was bearing whatever she endured. She kept it to herself. Just like when she was working holding the family. I'm sure she's tired of this, but you know, she smiled, she get the black eyed peas out or whatever, you know, just working, cooking up some stuff. And it just amazes me. And then my husband sent me an article this morning. It was talking about the statistics of it was talking about the prediction of how the economy can predict the like the workplace economy, where we can't predict the future of the US or whatever. And so they were talking about how the economy is forcing the black female out of the labor force because they've worked government jobs, they worked all these jobs, and whatever's happening now, they're forcing them out. However, the black female has made up 80% of the female labor force in comparison to like the white female was 70 something. I mean, we're the highest. Everybody else was 71, 77. I think the white female was 77, the non-Hispanic, the Asians and stuff, they were like 77. But we were the highest working. And I always look at patterns, and I look at I connect dots. So I'm going back to the slavery time when she was working. She knew she had to get out there and get it and work. So she, you know, gets out there and she's just going on. Like right now, she's 80%. She's working. She's dealing with life, whatever. And then the what else was it? It was the I forgot the labor force. Oh yeah, she was the most educated.
Most educated. Yeah, we know that she's the most educated
because she will go to school.
Most educated. And so I think we have to realize this. And she has a lot of black female has a lot of business too. They're business women.
Yes.
And they're forging their own
Madam
way.
CJ.
And nobody's trying to hear anything anybody's trying to tell them.
No.
These young people got their own mind. It's a whole different breed. And
right.
When they say I'm not my ancestors,
okay,
baby, let me tell you something. We have sacrificed for you not to be that and for you to be great. Yeah. So this is the greatest generation that's ever been produced, but you know, you got to go get it though. You got to show that that's what you are.
You got to go get it.
And I don't think they understand because they don't understand the history of who they are.
Right. It's not going to be handed to you.
No, you got to know who you are.
Right.
You know, I said, like, sometimes you got to remind yourself who you are, but you got to remember whose you are.
Right. Who you belong to.
Sure.
Yeah, you're a child of the king.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, you know, when I was coming up, to me, they wanted you to look nice on the outside, but to me, they were trying to build the inside. They were working on the inside. You know, they wanted you to pray, develop strength, fortitude. They wanted to see some consistency. My grandmama would tell me, she was old, she said, when you go get down there and get that job, this is when I first started teaching. Be on time. I mean, she was, she said, because she always said fractions. 2/3 of the people lose these jobs because they come in there late. And she would just go. I mean, she always had like a little mini sermon, I'm gonna call it.
Yes.
But you know, I was around little country ladies, you know, that dip snuff. My granny didn't, but she might drink a little beer or something. But I'm saying, but when they told you, you know, they laid down this law. They had these laws and rules and regulations. And so she was teaching me early on, you know, be on time. This is one of the ways to maintain the job. And you know, it's amazing. We had professional development, and you know what they said? We're gonna start documenting tardies. You're going to get a warning, then you're going to get another one, then you're going to get you're going to have to come in the office, sit down and sign. You're going to get this. And I'm saying, you know, my grandmama told me this 30-some years ago. Be on time. It's an issue. But I just don't know why people, it's like, I believe reality TV. You see people, all they doing, you know, we didn't have reality TV, so we didn't dream and think of nothing like this kind of stuff. Well, you're just sitting around eating and drinking and going to the mall, and that's all they see. And you have to explain to them, these people are getting paid to do that. You don't have any money to be sitting up here like this. You need to go to work. In reality, you gotta do something. Yes. And so, you know, people always talk about, oh God, he's gonna do this. God is not gonna do anything for nobody that's not trying to do nothing for themselves. Right. You have to have action. You have to have action with that faith. Faith without work. And so you can't. He's not gonna do nothing. You gotta have some action. So that means you're gonna have to do something. So that's quite impressive. But yeah, you know, young people give me hope. They do. They do. They give me hope because we always kind of cluster them together sometimes. Okay. But you can always see when good parenting, good parenting at home, in your shines house through. Yeah.
when they go out into that world and step outside you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all a parent can really hope for, is
Right.
that whatever they taught them is foundation and strong enough that when they're out there,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna hear that voice and gonna be able to do the right thing.
Right.
But you can tell the difference between the kids, how they're raised.
Mm-hmm.
Like we always say that, I worked for the YMCA for a long time. And we always say, well, we changed the lives of X number. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You don't
didn't
know
change
that. You don't know the answer to that until they get to a place where they're able to care for
You
themselves.
see results.
Now you have input in them to try to turn that inner light on,
Mhm.
which is that survival. But you don't know if you
Right.
change the life. You just don't. Those are statistics that you
Mhm.
use to raise money. And so you can't be caught up in that. And I'm just like, no, you don't know that.
No, you
But
don't
you have
know.
to keep pouring in.
Right. You don't know if you really change your life until you can see the fruit.
That's right.
You can
That's
say you changed life.
Mhm.
Yeah, they came in here and took a course, and they went over there upstairs and got a free haircut, and they went over there and worked out in the gym. But we don't know until we see the actual result that we change lives. We hope and pray we change your life.
Mhm.
That's what we're here for. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. And you see them every day. Y'all see kids every day because
Oh,
of
yeah.
what your occupation is. But they give me hope though. Like
Mhm.
it's amazing. Young people are amazing.
They are.
At all different stages of their development. They're
Mhm.
absolutely amazing. And so I'm hopeful.
I am too. They come and give me hugs. They give me words of encouragement when I least expect
Yeah.
it. You know, they're so sincere. You know, they just run up to you. They're just so open, so
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
They don't know, like they don't really fear. Like they just run up to you and hug. I had a little child just fall into my arms yesterday.
Mhm.
Ran up to me first time he saw me. I was just sitting in the chair. He just ran in there,
Mhm.
and I'm like, "Hello, honey. Hey, darling. What you talking about? What you doing? You know?" And later on, this lady told me, she said, "That little boy was in foster care." I said, "Was he?" She said, "Yes, he is." But he just took a liking to me.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, you never know why you're hugging somebody or why they might need a hug.
Mhm.
But all you know is you're giving a hug.
Yeah.
It seems minute to you, but it means so much to the other person.
Yes.
So, and like all this stuff, but this is not minute. But I'm saying sometimes when you do stuff and you're in the thick of things, like you're in the middle of it,
Mhm.
you might not see the impact.
Yeah.
But I know you know full well over 30-some books that it's an impact.
Yes.
But sometimes I'm saying the enemy will try to make it feel like, oh, you know, you're not doing that.
Yes.
Nobody's reading those books. Why are you at the cemetery? Why are you, it's like he'll make you think it's futile, it's all for naught. You know what I mean? And you're like,
Right.
yeah, why are you writing all these books on the planet? Why are you at the cemeteries? Why are you at the church? You found 4 cemeteries. Why are you looking for 5? But it's a lot of history that we need to know. Somebody's gonna have to. We need a messenger, somebody to put your sound alarm. That's what I see you as.
I told you my plan is with God, and
Yes.
so and I'm very well aware that our history is not documented.
Mhm.
And when I started out, I never wanted to talk to people. I just did research and took pictures, and that's how I produce. That's how I started producing my books.
Yeah.
And then I started getting more in depth with it. This is probably the most extensive one that I've done. It's this new one. This right here, this backstories of history for Arco. That's probably
They
the
can't
most
see it.
extensive one. But I didn't want to deal with people because people make things so complex and complicated.
Okay.
And they don't want to participate, but they want to criticize.
Mhm.
Like, hey, would you tell your part of the story? Like, no, they don't want to do that. But
Right.
as soon as something comes out and they see it,
Yeah.
they want to criticize. And that's why I didn't deal with people. I just did with places and things.
Yes. That's easier, huh?
And went to the cemetery. That's kind of they
They
ain't say
talk
nothing.
back. That's what I'm saying.
They didn't say anything. They just
They're not gonna say a word.
Just let me get what I needed from them.
Mhm.
And so, but it's because our history is not documented.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking, and then nobody wanting to tell the story. Well, if you don't tell your story, because the last person that ceased to exist that knows your name, you will cease to exist.
That's
It means
true.
you wasn't here.
Mhm.
And then you think about this. This right here is something to think about. This is something for the audience to think about. All these thousands of years, the earth has been here,
Okay.
and y'all seen the cemeteries.
It's not a lot of people.
Where are all them people at?
I don't know where are they cremated? Are they thrown in the ocean? I don't know.
Where are those people? Because we've been doing cemeteries for a long time too.
Right.
But even with the cemeteries, there's not enough people to justify
Those
the number of people that's been here. And that, like, we probably got our houses and everything else on top of them. Who knows? But where are they?
I don't know. I never thought about where they were. I always drive by and I look at the cemetery and I say, where are all the people that are gonna die? Where are they gonna go? Because it looked like it's not enough land. When I'm, I drive by Houston Memorial Paradise.
It's not enough.
And I go, it doesn't look like it's enough land for everybody that's born. So where are these people going? I have a question.
I don't know.
I don't either. And now you say, well, where are the ones before? I'm thinking about where the future one's gonna go.
I'm talking about where
you
the ones before.
Where are the ones?
Where are they?
I don't know. You might be home. Like,
there's no way it's been that many people to exist and have walked this world that the number of cemeteries we have can hold all those generations.
You think they put people on top of each other?
I don't know.
Like they
no, the army does it. The military does
it. Yeah,
they stack. They stack them. With
but
burials.
You remember it came up. It was on the news. They would dug up people's people. They were digging up the bodies and moving them,
take them and put them in mass
in
graves.
Chicago and doing weird stuff. They might be doing something like that.
Like a lot of times when people want to develop an area and it's a cemetery, that what they'll do is either put stuff on top of them or dig up the graves and put them in mass graves. And you have no idea where your people are. So that's happened. That like 1867 awful. Settlement, like places like that, they did
just
that.
Dug them up.
Yeah, dug them up.
I remember when I went to Germany once. This way when I was in my 20s, they took us to a concentration camp, Dachau, and they had pictures up there. The way they would do them, they was doing them like that. They just chunk them, just mass graves. Just they would be so skinny and there wouldn't be no meat. They just mistreated them. But anyway. They were just it's like I value I respect the dead. They live their life. That's a body, that was a person. I don't want to just throw people on top of each other. I don't want to just put homes where the dead, because I just respect that was somebody's mom or dad or brother, or, you know what I mean? But
where are they?
I don't know. You're making me wonder. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know either. And we talk about history. Even the history doesn't even do history justice. You're only able to go X amount of years back. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that you just can't find.
How do you feel about the ancestry DNA and those?
I did the 23andMe.
Okay.
And so 23andMe, I was looking for the surname of Mitchell, Graham, Cobb, and Darren. Those are the surnames I'm looking for. But when I did it because a cousin wanted me to do it, and we matched. Not the ones that was like first. We matched, of course we did. That had done it, but then I ended up matching with over 1,500 other people.
That's what I was wondering.
And so then they tell me that you're 26% European, and then 72% African from all these different places. And I tell people all the time, I am Africa. Because I came from all these different places, not just one,
right?
Just all this, and then you got this other little stuff in there, and so I kind of stopped following because nobody could connect to the surname. I was looking for something in particular,
okay,
and especially like the white side. It was something I was looking for in particular, but those they didn't match, and it's probably like 1,700 people now or more that I matched with. So I'm gonna do the ancestry also, looking for more matches because it's bigger.
Yeah.
And 23andMe went bankrupt anyway.
They did?
Yeah. They sold that thing, I believe. I kind of don't know what's happening to our DNA. They sent us a thing.
That's what I was wondering.
They sent us a thing saying that nothing was going to happen to it. It was still going to be privacy. But you know how that goes.
Yeah.
That's not true. So they got your DNA.
But what would they do with it?
I don't know.
I was just wondering. You making me.
I don't know. I'm gonna do the ancestry though because I think I'll have a greater possibility of matches.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for something in particular because right now I'm at a standstill on some research with my family, and I'm still searching. So
you're still searching. 72% African, and you were 36%. What?
26%.
26% European. Did you say what part of Europe or just?
It does tell you.
Okay.
I just don't remember.
Okay.
It really wasn't that important. Like once I saw it, it really wasn't that important anymore.
It wasn't a highlight of your life. Okay.
And I couldn't find the surname, so I kind of got disinterested.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I want to do mine. I haven't done it yet.
I did it. You can buy the kit out of Walgreens or anywhere.
Oh, you don't do it over
and you just
online?
Take the swab,
Okay.
do your mouth,
Mhm.
and then you put it in a little tube or whatever they have, and you send it in to them.
Okay.
And then they'll tell you what the analysis are. They'll send you email, tell you the analysis.
It takes what, a month?
Something like that. It might have been less than that. Something. It wasn't a long
2 weeks.
time.
Oh, it was okay. Yeah, I've often said that I was going to do that, but I just hadn't done it yet. The African ancestry, they say you could do like the maternal side and the paternal, so you can see what you got from the mother, what you got from the father, and all this and the matriarchal and the patriarchal, whatever.
Listen, it don't mean.
It don't mean.
Like, it just kind of don't. It kind of doesn't mean anything to me. I know who my father is. I know who my mom is. I know who my grandparents are.
Right.
I have information for
you
theirs.
don't care what side. It's just the way you say it.
Yeah. And family is not always blood.
Okay.
And so we can get caught up on that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we are, caught up on it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It's
a trend, you're saying?
I'm not saying it's a trend. I'm just saying that I'm just saying it really doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it matters when it talk about medical, when you was talking about health and wellness and all this. I think it matters when it comes to health.
Oh yeah.
Because of your DNA.
Right.
What's in your DNA? It might be something that's hereditary.
Yeah.
And then we have to think about this. And this is something that we don't think about.
Mm-hmm.
During the time of slavery, when people were enslaved, they was breeding them.
They sure were.
And they would breed them with anything that was anything. And so you don't know what you bred with. So I believe that a lot of times when they bred, they messed up the genes, right? And so you got some people, like we have some people that's never gonna be certain things because of how they was bred, right?
Okay.
They're gonna always be dependent. They're gonna always be that way.
I got you.
Because of the mixture that went in with that seed.
Okay.
And I tell people all the time, you need to be careful about what you let plant inside you.
That's true.
Because you don't know what that seed is and what it carries with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to be very clear about that.
Yeah.
You don't mate with anything.
That's true.
And but they made us with anything. And I'm just saying, some people are always going to need someone to help them. Like, even if they might look normal, however.
I got you. I'm with you.
So, and we just have to realize that, and we can't judge them for that.
Okay.
We just have to figure out how can we move the race forward. And it really is about moving the race forward.
Yeah.
That's what our ancestors were doing, is moving the race forward.
Okay.
But then when money and the opportunity say, hey, come with us. Come on over here. Y'all can come with us now.
Okay.
We were stronger and we was more productive together. But now y'all can come with us.
They want the gene.
They dilute you. Like this right here. Think about a fist. How strong this is when it's together. Think about this when you open it up, loosen it up.
Yeah.
How weak that is.
Okay. Oh.
And so that's what they did. To think about it. Think about our people.
You got me really thinking.
Remember we talk about freedom colonies. We were all together. That's the only place we could be. Wasn't a freedom colony with black folks.
Yeah.
And so everything we had was there in our community. Everything we needed.
Mm-hmm.
But then we say, hey, we're gonna let y'all come out the community and come with us.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we start being like this right here. You're gonna go over here and live in this white neighborhood. They don't want you. Why go somewhere where they don't want you?
I get it.
And I'm saying that right now. If they don't want you, don't go there.
Right.
And don't give money to people that don't want you and don't value you. Keep your money, because that's it. And if voting wasn't so important, why you think they're fighting so hard to keep you from doing it?
Right.
I
agree.
And get out and vote. Get registered and vote, because that's a powerful tool.
It is.
They don't want you to know that, but it's a powerful tool. I know.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that mixing. My mind is still stuck there.
About that breeding.
Yeah, I said mixing, but you use the word breeding.
It is breeding.
But when I think of breeding, I'm thinking of cows and cattle, but that's the way they treat us.
That's how they treated us.
Chattel slavery, like property ownership. Yeah. But I was thinking about the gene, the dominant gene, or whatever genes we possess, and how it mixes, then it's diluted or what. I was just thinking about that.
I said I am Africa. When I got mine back, it was a whole bunch of little African places and stuff or whatever.
Well, I want to get mine. I just want to see how much Africa. I want to know what part of Africa.
They tell you. They told me what part. Yeah. Like where some of the places don't exist anymore.
Oh, okay.
Like the little tribes or whatever it was, it doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, I was just wondering. I thought it was. I don't know. Now you got me thinking. Okay, because I was thinking it was gonna say you were from one part of Africa, and that one part was the percentage of Africa. But now you're telling me you're from many. You're from many parts of Africa,
from those wherever those little tribes were in Africa.
and they were moving.
That's
Okay.
where it's more than one tribe. It's not just Nigerian or something like that. It's
Oh, it's
just
not?
all these other little places, and they have names, like they had the names on them.
Hmm.
And even the European stuff, I think it was more than one European thing too. I
Mhm.
think maybe two,
Mm.
maybe two or three,
That's
something
amazing.
like that.
We're just all mixed up, aren't we? We don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying I knew we were, but I didn't know to what extent that it was so much of the. So now I really want to get mine. I just want to see.
You just do it and it comes back, and I'm gonna do it Ancestry though. It's about $50.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that one simply because I think it's I've done the other one.
Okay.
And then they have this African one that's very expensive that they say do or whatever, but I'm not kind of.
You don't think it's worth it?
Well, like when they did Sugarland 95, the people that archaeologists that actually went in and dug the bodies and did that or whatever, they were talking about Ancestry. And all that about like how that stuff is processed and DNA and all that, because they send it to places like that.
Okay.
Because of the technology and the knowledge.
And what did they say?
They do the analysis for that. So actually, I think they found 5 families that were connected to those convicts that they found. So on one, when you go to the cemetery, there was one name that was on one of the headstones. I guess the family came forth and decided whatever. But it's interesting. And we just talking. I'm like,
yeah, that's what we do.
Oh, that's what we do. We just talk. Oh, yeah. Talk Houston.
Yeah. But I can't end. Only end the slide I got is this one. We've been talking for almost an hour now.
Oh, really?
It's right up here.
Wow.
Up there in the corner there. Up there.
You know what? We have been talking for almost an hour.
I know. It's 8:26. Yeah, well, you know what? I found out that when you start talking about a topic that you love or something you're passionate about, the hour flies by.
Yes.
Yes. If you're a baker and we start talking about cookies and pies and quiches, they just end up going out. Whatever it is you're doing that's interest, it's a high interest for you, like this historical documentation, the Black Cowboy, the museum. What was his name? Jack Jones. What was his name?
This man right here name is
Rosenberg.
Rosenberg. His name is Larry Callis.
Okay, Larry Callis.
Go to the Black Cowboy Museum and take that tour. You will not be disappointed.
I want to go to it now.
Gotta go. Like, he's open on the weekends. Call up there.
Okay.
And it's a phenomenal tour. Phenomenal.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that. And so again, your business, it was Harriet's
History Box LLC.
Okay, Harriet's History Box LLC. And you do photography?
I'm a Renaissance woman.
Okay, I love that.
I do all types of things. I do I'm a businesswoman, like I have a history or a career.
Okay.
Over 30 years in nonprofit management. And I told you I have an MBA and all those things. I own my own business. Right. I do photography. I do research, books, tours.
Yeah.
Historical areas. Freemanstown is my main place where I do historical tours, but I've done Third Ward too. So, so I do a lot of different things. It's not just one thing. I actually have exhibits. I've done 5 solo exhibits. And so I just do a lot, like whatever.
Are you doing one in the future?
I just finished one January of this year. I had one that was out. It was out from October to January, which I was just blessed to be able to do.
Right.
But I haven't really, that hasn't moved me. I came out with the book.
Okay, right now.
I just did the book right now that came out. But maybe hopefully sometime in the future when the spirits hit me and I'm ready.
You ready?
I'll come out with some other stuff.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it. Well, I'll tell you what, I have had a phenomenal time talking with, because we kind of dived and delved into, it's like some little subtopics. I mean,
everything. We talked about everything tonight.
Yeah, we had some main topics, but then we delved into the subtopics.
Yes.
Which I'm still thinking. I like to think though. I'll be off of here later on and I'll be thinking, I'll be researching, I'll be Googling. Because now I want to know, where are these people?
Yes.
I want to know a lot of things, but that's one thing I want to know. Yes. So I'm gonna have to research, although I might not find it. Oh, you know what? We've been talking and look.
You forgot to do your outro.
This right here, the comment. Oh. Shout out, Women of God, Pastor Christopher, T-Way. Yes, I've learned a lot. So she learned a lot.
Cool beans.
The time just flew by.
It did.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I didn't have my comments on because I was trying to do other things. but that's okay. So, as you can see, we've been chopping it up with Miss Priscilla T. Graham. She's an author. She's a historical
Lyricist.
Okay.
I'm a visual lyricist
She's a visual lyricist. And historically, how do you categorize yourself?
because everything I do is through a visual lens.
Okay.
Images.
Oh, I like
imagery. So that's why
she's a Renaissance woman.
That's right. That's me.
Define Renaissance woman.
Just a woman of all different things. Just always willing to expand and grow, but also to cultivate.
Yeah.
And just pour in where I just want to be able to pour in and make the world a better place. So when I'm gone, that something, that light is left in somebody's life.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to do too.
Yeah, because when you change one life, you don't change one life. You change generations.
Right. Oh, beautiful. And on that note, I think we need to get out of here because
yes,
yeah, you don't just change one life, you change generations. So be a game changer. And I would like to say, as I always say in parting, remember to make yourself a priority because God loves you. So do I. Toodles. Bye-bye.